What up, doe? What up, doe? What up, doe? 100 fam, Detroit street lawyer. And today, let's go to Portsmouth, Ohio. P-O-R-T, Portsmouth, I believe it's spelled. And Scioto County, C-S-C-I-O-T-O County, Scioto County. Portsmouth, Ohio. Everybody know Ohio is a racist ass town. It's always have been the state, of Ohio has always been a racist state. It was brought to my attention from my cousin, Mr. Duran Woods, like I say again, a spokesman for justice. Like when he was in Berriga. You know what I'm saying? When the corrupt ass staff and police and them brought COVID in there. They got everybody sick. You know, he spoke out. So now again, he's speaking out. And he's speaking out through me. Like I say, I was told that they do not have a law library. That's the main key. Let's touch on that. Huh? Come on. Now let's go to the Constitution itself and see what the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution says, which all states, including Ohio, y'all think y'all tough, y'all some bitches. The state of Ohio, y'all some bitches. Just think y'all can do whatever y'all want. Y'all racist as hell. Discriminate against black people. Beat up black people. Put fake cases on black people. All type of stuff. And we talking about Portsmouth, Ohio. Scioto County, S-C-I-O-T-O, Scioto County. You know, all the cities, Toledo, Cleveland, Ohio, all of them corrupt. Evil, Akron. Okay, let's go to the First Amendment. I want to read it word for word, even though I know it speaks about petition the government for redress of grievances. Petitioning the government for redress of grievances. It also deals with freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, so on and so forth. Now let's read it word for word. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. To abridge means to stop, to put an impediment in front of an individual. Put an impediment in front of their First Amendment right, Second Amendment right, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I can go on. But see, these men all across the United States, and we're specifically speaking about Scioto County Jail in Portsmouth, Ohio, where they're violating these men's rights. These men, they don't even give these men the right to a law library so that they can challenge conditions. You see what I'm saying? So, guess what? Good old Detroit street lawyer. I'm pushing it out there for him. We petition the Portsmouth hierarchy. We also petition Scioto County Chief Judge William T. Marshall to stop discrimination of citizens, whether you from Detroit, whether you be from Ohio, whether you be from wherever in this United States, corporate entities and corporate states. You can't discriminate in Scioto County Court. Because it was brought to my attention just because you have men from other cities, counties, and states that they're denying them their constitutional rights as guaranteed by the federal United States Constitution. You see, it was brought to my attention that a guy got hit with 50 grams. He got out. Bond or whatever it was. But when a guy from another state or city or county, basically to boil it all down, if you're not from Portsmouth, Ohio or Scioto County and you get caught up there or whatever, you go through their system, they horn you. They're not giving you the equal protection of the laws guaranteed by the 14th Amendment, which says all persons born and naturalized in the United States of America, it is citizen thereof and in the state in which they reside. No state, we talking to your bitch ass Ohio, and we talking to your fuckboy ass Chief Judge William T. Marshall. You took an oath under Article 6, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution to defend and protect with the U.S. Constitution. No state shall deny any person life, liberty, or property without the due process of law, nor deny any person within their jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. Jurisdiction means Scioto County, in Portsmouth, the city, state Ohio. So, Judge, we're speaking to you. And if you don't correct this, guess what? I'm going to file a judicial tenure complaint against you for not properly supervising and controlling your subordinate judges. I don't give a damn if a guy's from Portsmouth in Scioto County. Yes, you get him the equal protection of the law. I don't care if a person's from outside of your city, your county, and your state. Bitch, you give him the same law under the 14th Amendment. Failure to do so is a felony, Judge. 18 U.S.C. 242, it's a 1-year felony. And where 2 or more judges or anybody acting in your county is violating city, county, state, or federal citizens' rights, whether they be from your state or any other state, it's conspiracy, 10-year felony, 18 U.S.C. 241, where two or more people acting under the color of state law violate citizens' rights. It's a 10-year felony. So let's go here. As to the part about the library, no library, where guys can't even challenge jail conditions. Guys can't even challenge their criminal cases. Guys can't even challenge 42 U.S.C. 1983 civil rights actions that they might want to file against the jail, or assist their attorney in fighting their case by doing research and or self-representation if they choose to. Now, this is what the law from the U.S. Supreme Court has said. Like others, prisoners have a constitutional right to petition the government for redress of their grievances, which includes a reasonable right of access to the courts. And that's Johnson, J-H-O-N-S-O-N versus Avery, A-V-E-R-Y. You're violating this mandate in this case is Johnson versus Avery, 89, Supreme Court, 747, the year is 1969. We're in 2025. You bitches know that. You bitches down there in Portsmouth, Ohio, in the county of Scioto County, in the state of Ohio, know. Y'all dick suckers know the law. But y'all are violating these men's rights and or women that's in the county. You know, we're not going to leave any genders out. Whomever it is in the county, y'all have to make sure they have law libraries to petition the court for redress of grievances. Okay, access. See, here's another case. Access to the courts to be afforded inmate must be adequate, effective, and meaningful. In that case, is Wilson versus Yaklich, Y-A-K-L-I-C-H, 148, Federal 3rd, F period 3D, page 596, the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals, Federal 6th Circuit Court of Appeals, in the year is 1988. Give me a second. Okay. Right of prison inmates to provide legal assistance to others held not to receive protection under federal constitutions. First Amendment. Above and beyond protection normally accorded prisoners' speech. And that is 121 Supreme Court 1475 at 1480 footnote 3 in the years 2001. Okay. Now here's the thing. Let's go here. Access to the law library is not required of prisons, but rather is one way of assuring prisoners' constitutional right of access to the courts. So you got to provide it, dick suckers. And that's Atkins versus United States. 204 F3D, page 1086 at 1090, 11th Circuit, 2000. Also, it speaks about a person who might want to represent themselves. Right of prison inmates to provide legal assistance. Hold on, no. Let me go back. Retract. Okay. It says an incarcerated criminal defendant who chooses to represent himself has a constitutional right to access to law books or other tools to assist him in preparing a defense. And that is Brib Iska versus Galiza. And that first case is BRIBIESCA versus GALAZA, 215 Federal 3rd, 1015 is the page at 1020, and the year is 9th Circuit, 2000. So, people, let's get together. Shout out to my boy Man Time Media. If I can, I'm gonna send you a copy of this, and I'm gonna see if you can air this for me, so that we can get these black men justice in Portsmouth, Ohio, and these black women, and the county of Scioto County, in the state of Ohio. See, I don't care if it's black, white, Latino, everybody of all nationalities and all colors should have a right to access to the courts. They should have access to their constitutional rights. They should be protected by their federal and state constitutional rights. But Scioto County in Portsmouth, Ohio, they racist. They've been targeting black men and women. They've been violating rights. People that come from other states that may get caught up in that state, they're not giving them the due process that they're guaranteed. They're not giving them the equal protection of the law. See, they're showing love to their citizens from the city and the county of Scioto and the city of Portsmouth. But when it comes to people from out of state, they violate their law. They hold them in jail. They violate their federal and state constitutional rights. You know, so, like I said, people are entitled to access to the courts. So, give me a second, please. See, these people are out cold. Okay, now here's another thing. Prisoners clearly have a constitutionally protected right of access to the courts, and interference with a prisoner's right to access the courts, such as a delay, may result in constitutional deprivation. These men have a right to a law library. Clearly they do. Johnson versus Avery, 89 Supreme Court, 747, the years 1969. Again, you may have men or women that want to represent themselves. And the law clearly says an incarcerated criminal defendant who chooses to represent himself has a constitutional right to access the law books or other tools to assist him in preparing a defense. Clearly. Now, let me see. Right now, I'm in my Holy Grail. of law. I'm just going through some things and I'm making sure, because this is a very touchy situation. You know, I've been through things by the system. They still try to mess with me. They're messing over people's constitutional rights to access the courts, freedom of speech, due process, the equal protection of the law. You get what I'm saying? And these judges are bound under U.S. Constitution Article 6, Section 2. Those that work for the executive department, like the governor, the attorney general, the police, so on and so forth, they all work for the executive department. And they're bound by 40 by their oath of U.S. Constitution Article 6, Section 3, to defend, to support the Constitution, and protect the Constitution. See, they have a duty to protect, the state has a duty to protect private citizens from other state officials, other county officials, other city officials from violating their federal constitutional rights under the Cheney versus Winnebago Department of Social Services, 489 U.S. 189, the years 1989. Facts. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. State officials held subject to personal liability for damages under 42 U.S.C. 1983 based on official acts where 1983 actions were brought against officials in their individual capacity. Hafler versus Malo was the case. Name, the citation is 112 Supreme Court 358, years 1991. See, they have to be aware that they can be sued under 42 U.S.C. 1983. See, a lot of men are being held from out of state, out of city, out of county that's not from there. And they're discriminating against them. They're locking them up. See, you got to understand, these men and women are innocent until proven guilty. No cap. Innocent until proven guilty. So you want to hold them in jail. You don't want to apply the law to them fairly, so on and so forth. You want to cause hardship on them. They haven't been convicted. This is cruel and unusual punishment, mental anguish, pain and suffering. This can cause hardship on these non-convicted men that are innocent until proven guilty. Now, the case of Berg versus County of Allegheny, 219 Federal 3rd, 261 3rd Circuit, 2000 is the year. It says, to make a prima facie case under 1983, plaintiff must demonstrate that person acting under the color of law deprived him of his federal right. And they're clearly in that county of Scioto County and Port Smith, Ohio, are violating these men's rights. It further says in Dascalia versus District of Columbia, 227 Federal 3rd, 433 DC Circuit, 2000. Mental and emotional distress are compensable under 42 U.S.C. 1983, even in the absence of physical injury. See, the mind, the emotion, these men are going to be found guilty. Not guilty, excuse me. These men and women are, in the name of Jesus Christ, are going to be found not guilty. So therefore, you have left something on them in their heart, their stress, their emotion. They couldn't even help themselves. They can't assist their attorneys in preparing documents. Then the judges are not following the law. They're discriminating against non-residents, non-citizens of the city of Portsmouth, the county of Scioto, in the state of Ohio. It violates their laws. See, and we have to make these officials accountable. We start with the Chief Judge, William T. Marshall. See, you have a duty to supervise the county and judges, being that you are the Chief Justice in this county. If they're violating the law, you have a duty to reprimand them. You have a duty to stop that. So, let me see. Give me 1 second. And see, basically, these people are violating these men's rights and these women's rights in the county. See, that's just like, let me give you an example. The chief judge, let's say if he sees another judge violate law or rules or regulations, or anybody, prosecutor, police, whomever, and it's right there in their face and they know about it, they have a duty to correct it. Otherwise, you could be sued to chief judge. You could be prosecuted to chief judge because you stood back and you did nothing about it. Now, in the case of, give me a second. Okay. Here we go. Police officer who is present at scene of, basically at a scene, and does not take reasonable measures to protect suspect from another officer's use of excessive force may be liable for civil rights violations. And that case is Hale versus Townley, 445 Federal 3rd, page 914 at 919. 5th Circuit, 1995. So, Judge, being that you know about what's going on in this county, you're giving official notice under the 14th Amendment, because everybody has to be given notice, hearing, and the right to be heard. We're calling you out, Chief Judge in Scioto County, Judge William T. Marshall. Why aren't these men given libraries? Why aren't these men given equal justice under the 14th Amendment? See, because y'all racist down there. Y'all the Ku Klux Klan. Everybody know the Ku Klux Klan, the Aryan Brotherhood deep in Ohio. Come on. Come on. Justice for the men and the women in Scioto County and Portsmouth, Ohio. Justice. Come on. What's going on? See, people want to glorify the gangster when they're in the street. Oh, them guys got money, them guys shooters, them guys this, and that. But when a nigga get locked up, nigga don't even get a letter. Nigga don't even get a shout out. Or if you is shouting a nigga, you perpetrating, you ain't really doing nothing for them. You ain't sending them niggas no money. You ain't out here trying to go to bat for them to help them get justice, so on and so forth. So stop glorifying the gangsters if you're not going to take care of your business. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, I tell people, learn the law. Learn your rights. Because at any given time, these people can try to violate your constitutional rights. And it's crazy that people don't want to learn until they get in trouble. You know, I got a couple more things to say, and I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. You dig? Let me see. Yeah, so let's get justice for these men and women. Let's get the Department of Justice. Let's get other federal agencies to look at the state of Ohio and Portsmouth, Ohio, and Scioto County. They're denying men and women their federal constitutional rights, which violates Marbury versus Madison and their oath under the Supremacy Clause. Bam. What's going on, people? See, people have to understand that the law is for everybody in this country. The law protects everybody from tyranny by the government. The Declaration of Rights, Declaration of Independence was created for the protection of the 13 colonies. 4th of July. See, the same thing that the British Crown was doing to the 13 colonies. Today, the United States Corporation and its agents are doing the same thing to the federal U.S. citizens today, violating their federal rights, which is a crime. See, people have to do the right thing. People have to stand up and say, no, the government is instituted for the people, according to their fake ideology that they were created. Like in Michigan, Constitution of 1963, Article 1, Section 1 says the government was instituted for the protection and well-being of the citizen. But we know that's not the case. You dig? So, the law is the law, and they have to follow the law. See, right here it says, in Hilton versus City of Wheeling, 209 Federal 3rd, 1005 at 1007, 7th Circuit, 2000. A person does not have to be a member of a protected group to invoke the equal protection. Meaning what they're denying these men and women in Scioto County and the city of Portsmouth, Ohio. Hey, it says state actors violate the Equal Protection Clause if they deliberately and selectively deny protective services to members of a disfavored minority. The minority are the people that are not from the city of Portsmouth, not from the county of Scioto, not from the state of Ohio. They're denying them the protective services of the law, the Constitution, to protect their life, liberty, their property, their freedoms. And that is Judge versus City of Lowell, 160 Federal 3rd at 76. And it's a First Circuit 1998 case, citing DeShaney versus Winnebago Department of Social Services, 489 U.S. 189 at 197 footnote 3. The year is 1989. See, you cannot deny people the equal protection. See, right here it says the equal protection clause extends to prison inmates. And that is Rouse, R-O-U-S-E versus Benson, 193 Federal 3rd, page 936 at 942. In the years 8th Circuit, 1999, citing Turner versus Safely, 107 Supreme Court, 2254 at 2257. In the year is 1987. So, with that said, we demand that these men and women in Scioto County in Portsmouth, Ohio, be given their federal First Amendment, 14th Amendment rights. All rights under the 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment, 6th Amendment, 7th, all constitutional rights. We're demanding as citizens, free citizens, that these men and women be treated equal. Failure to do so, we are reaching out to the NAACP. We're reaching out to the Nation of Islam. We're reaching out to the Moors. We're reaching out to all you men and women in these organizations that say you are for the advancement of Moorish people. For those that call themselves Moors, for the advancement of black people or colored people, whomever it is, white people or Europeans, however they term themselves. Everybody should be given a right. But specifically those that are not from Portsmouth, Ohio, Scioto County, and the state of Ohio, that are not being given their constitutional rights and protections by these agencies. Let's stand together. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm reaching out to the Nation of Islam. I'm reaching out to all these people that's out here protesting, saying they for the people. Black Lives Matter, whoever it is. With that said, Islam and peace, justice, If you're not for it, you faking. You for the enemy. Or you out here trying to pimp people to get money for your organization or whatever else. When you have a voice, see, even in the Bible, it says if a man or a woman sees someone do wrong, that they are to say something to them. That's in Ezekiel, in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17 through 19. It says, "O son of man, give them warning about their sin. If you don't give them warning, guess what? Yes, they'll be punished, but their blood will be on your hands for not giving them warning." So, hey, let's step out, people. Let's let these people down here know in Portsmouth, Ohio, in Scioto County, in the state of Ohio, that these people are violating their rights. We're calling out to the governor to do checks and balances on that city of Scioto, on that, in that city of Portsmouth, in the county of Scioto, in the state of Ohio. Investigate these people. See, we're going on a campaign to get these men justice, and I'm reaching out to you, my brother. Man Time Media, if you can't help share this, brother. You know, we just did some stuff down there in Boston, Massachusetts, where a brother got killed by the police in the county jail. And guess what? Man, it turned out beautiful. The brother said it turned out beautiful. You see what I'm saying? Justice. Free all the real ones. Free everybody up in there. Peace. I'm out. 100 Fam Detroit Street Lawyer.